Oosh. Wait, no. Crap.
Wrong franchise. Wrong franchisee.
Brazil, I need y'all to get it together and come up with some catchphrase so I can say something.
Well, they had 2 songs. We can't remember either of them.
No.
Hello, hello, hello. And welcome to the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real and the tea in reality, and you can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I'm Logan Murphy. Say something gay. Gay. Thank you. Today I'm drinking a homemade strawberry acai refresher minus the acai because I didn't have any. Because who has acai on hand on a regular basis? Because she loves that drink. So that's all.
Hello and hello and hello. I am Lana, your resident diva, here to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I love me some tea. Purr. And if you have some tea, you know what to do. Hit me up. I am currently drinking water because it's here. But if I was drinking anything, I would probably be drinking it out of my cup mug. Well, not today because it's dirty, but it will hold my water. How about that? My cup mug is holding my water. And you can get you a cup mug too, like all the rest of us, at lanajcreation.etsy.com. And we do ship internationally, so there are no excuses. I'm looking at you, Brazil. I'm looking at you. Burr, get your cup mug.
I'm David Healy, and I don't have a cute intro, but I do have a cute shirt. I'm wearing my Willem shirt today. And I'm drinking... Nurse, yes. I'm drinking water.
And what's happening in Brazil? It's your girl Eve the Bunny, back again. Chicago drag artist and queen of Ivy Park. I have a little bit of unfortunate news. I'm trying not to manifest and I'm trying not to speak into the... So you know what? I'm not going to speak into the ether. I'm still going to say it's going to happen. We're up against a rock and a hard place right now, kids. But I still am manifesting out in the world that I will be seeing my mother one final time this Saturday. Not one ticket is bought for nothing, but it is okay. Somehow it will be manifested in the next few days.
That's in Kansas City, right?
I'll be there. That's fine. So that's all I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm going to be there. I'm wearing actually the first piece of Ivy Park I ever bought. It is from the Halls of not the Halls of Ivy. That's a lie. It's from the Drip 2.0 collection, which was her second drop that she ever did. Where she did them in like a couple of different fun colors. This was the honey color. I'm very attracted to like browns and neutrals and earth tones. I get that from my mom. So and then I'm drinking.
Not that.
Oh,
not that. Technical difficulties. I'm sorry, I stepped on the cord of my phone. But I am drinking frozen Coke from Mickey D's because I'm eating McDonald's.
Purr.
Work. And we're here. It is episode 5 of Drag Race Brasil. I have to say, I think my favorite episode of the season so far.
Yes,
I really enjoyed this.
Yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it. It was my favorite.
It was good.
I like it.
When we come back into the workroom, Melusine is gone. And, you know, normally we would say, oh, maybe she would say to subscribe to the channel. I don't know whether she would actually say that. But she might not.
Why you say that?
She saw our cast assessment.
She saw our cast assessment.
She was not, that might not.
Not thrilled.
But it's okay. Even if
we grew to love her.
We did grow to love her.
It's
we
okay.
grew to adore her.
Because you know what? That means that she wasn't thrilled with y'all. Because I know I was hyping her up the whole time. So
true.
I mean, that's fine or whatever. But even if she don't want you to subscribe, you should do it anyway, just to spite her, or just because you love us. Period. So subscribe to this channel before you get on up out of here. So hit that button.
I was going to say, I still don't remember anything that happened in that cast assessment.
We don't need to reminisce about why you don't remember anything.
We're not going to. But Melusina is gone. Aquarela is upset about it. And I understand. And I felt bad.
I mean, it's hard. I guess it's hard when you get too close to somebody in situations like this, where this is the only thing you're doing in that moment, and this is your life at that time, and somebody you come close to, you have to go against, and then at your hand, apparently, eventually, you're sending them home, ending their dream, and it's like, that's
I was about to say, not to like jump ahead a little bit, but that is the one thing that kind of sucks, because this is something that they've all fought for. This is the first season that this has ever happened. So I know everybody has come in with the highest of hopes of, I'm going to do these things. I'm going to win these challenges. I'm going to do, you know what I mean? And then to have all that cut short, it does make me feel kind of like how they were saying, you know, at the beginning of the workroom, at the work table, the next morning, of like feeling like you cut someone's dream off. You know what I mean? And it's, I mean, in essence, that's not what you're trying to do, but you all kind of have the same dream. So that's the sad part, you know what I mean, is that it's very funny that you're wearing Willem's shirt, David, because it was one of the funniest things that I think that I've heard a queen say when it comes to something like related to this, where she was standing on stage and she was crying and she was like, I love all these girls so much, and it really sucks that they all have to go home so that I can win.
Right.
And I was like, but that is the thing that does suck about it, is like, I mean, you have to keep in mind that they have to stay in their mind that yes, something they all want, but it's a competition. At the end of it, they do have a sisterhood. You know what I mean? They are going to be able to see each other again and connect with people, you know, and build a better relationship in a different environment. And so I feel like that hopefully that happens. You know, I mean, hopefully next thing you know, we see Twitter posts of Aquarela and Melusina like just hanging out and like, you know what I mean, kikiing and shit, you know. So like, it could be cute.
Definitely. So we come to the workroom the next day. Greg is here, being Greg, looking like Greg, being attractive.
Greg looking like she just came back from the Barbie movie.
And I think so. She might have.
I'm gonna say Greg is becoming my favorite host of all the Drag Race franchises. I just really enjoy the way Greg is hosting the show and how like relatable she is, and how much she seems like she adores these girls and is very involved in everything. And we'll talk about it more later when we get to that part. But she is just in it, and I just love it. I think she's one of my favorite, and she's so pretty, in and out of drag. I'm like, oh, so dang pretty. God dog.
I'm like, why?
So dang.
For
pretty.
what reason?
Why do you have to be?
What? So we get a mini challenge, and apparently we're just doing drag faster and faster every damn time we have a quick drag mini challenge, because all of a sudden we're doing drag in 5 minutes. It's 5 minutes. It's 3 minutes. You have 60 seconds to get in drag. It's like, why? For what reason? By the time
I'm finished breathing, you're in drag. Exhale, you're in drag.
I'm finishing my statement, and now you should be in drag. Like, what? And we are decorating cakes. Allegedly.
Viking cakes?
I hate you, David. I hate you so much.
This was
something.
I'm going to be really weird, possibly.
Okay.
Was I the only person that was watching it and getting physically nauseous?
I was.
Like them literally not just them rubbing it on the cake or whatever, but like literally taking the hugest of gobs of icing or just the thick icing and just putting it all in their mouth. I'm just like, ugh. I'm like,
I was getting.
Whoa! I really had to look away a couple times. I was like, this is grossing me out. Whoa! Stop.
It was grossing me out watching that, And then I was getting grossed out with all the noises that came along with it. I was like,
I love Shannon's noises.
I hated every second of that. I was like, seriously, like it's already gross enough that we got to watch you go. Well, then we have to like.
Well, those are all normal experiences for queer people, Lana. So I understand why you were.
They basically gave them some
I am
pre-made
leaving
cakes.
this channel so fast. I am about to leave. I am leaving this channel so fast because I am tired. I am tired of the queer people coming for me every chance I get just
I'm
to
tired
say,
of you homos.
Gays are
I'm
trying
tired
to
of you
murder
gays
you.
and I'm tired of you homosexuals doing this
I
to
am
me.
too. I'm tired.
I'm tired. I'm sick of it. Thank you. I don't know what you.
I'm tired of them too.
I'm
tired of
sick
them.
of them. I'm sick of y'all coming for me. You queer people keep coming at me.
Horrible.
Woo, I'm
Horrible.
sick. Okay, but
I do want to say though, Dallas in this mini challenge, she looks so good. Why is it that my two favorite looks she's had have been her quick drag looks?
Now that's shady.
It's not. It's because she looks really good in quick drag.
It's very shady that you're like
You look really good in drag that you did in
not look
5
good?
minutes.
I mean,
Did
she
you
looked
not
great, but then when you talk about didn't she get on the runway, was she taking her time? She don't look good.
I
She looks
mean,
okay.
Well,
I consider it shade because one of the other girls that like is legendary in RuPaul's Drag Race history for doing drag in 5 minutes and actually looking ridiculously beat is Jada Essence Hall.
Oh yeah,
like, they do not look the same.
no,
A 5 minute Dallas does not look like a 5 minute Jada at all.
no.
5 minute Jada looks like hour and a half Jada, like the same.
Yeah. And
like,
so
she beats like Jade So, like
she does, and we get 2 winners of the mini challenge for some reason. Betina
I definitely
and
noticed that.
Hellena Maldita. Yeah, you definitely noticed that,
I
David.
definitely did.
I'm glad that you definitely noticed that, David.
Side note, something that I noticed. That fine pit crew member they had in the middle of that table.
mm-hmm.
The big beefy one.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It was delicious. I was like, oh. I was like, I see my cake.
I saw mine too.
I see mine.
Cake.
I love that. I love that all this podcast is doing is making me realize that even I have the exact same type. I'm very entertained by it.
It's perfect season. Okay.
Anyway,
I'm about to say David is gonna bore y'all a whole new. He is literally getting more annoyed with you every second y'all continue. So.
Is it that obvious? No,
Oh,
okay.
Yes.
Yes. On purpose.
I know, right?
So for this week's maxi challenge, we are doing we're doing 30-second campaigns with the theme "You Are Not Alone." So we're doing a good old little commercial.
You are not. No, I won't do that.
Copyright is real.
Well,
David, we're trying to get through this.
Okay.
Just a little bit. Just thanks.
Oh
no!
But yep, you are not alone. You are not
David,
alone. David, you are not alone.
David,
I'm with you. I am here with you. But yes, so they do the commercials on their spots, and they have to reach into the box where the pit crew is there to get their words. And everybody gets these great words that they have to talk about. Is diversity, is
I have all of them.
Oh, well then you go and do that.
Well, I also have a visual for it.
Ooh.
So I was gonna say, do we want to talk about any of the workroom stuff first, and then we could talk about the challenge stuff, and just go straight into runway and do that?
Okay,
because I didn't really have a whole lot from the workroom stuff.
Hey, they just talked about haters on the internet.
Yeah,
that was about it, and I was like, I love that we're having this conversation. Thank you for the conversation, but
they got nothing to do.
And they talk about putting Brazil drag on the map.
Yes.
Absolutely. Which
Which
they are.
Which
Mhm.
they
And
are.
Brazilian drag queens are in general across what, 4 franchises now?
It's representation all over the place. So it must be
Speaking of
something.
representativity was one of the words.
That's what's the word.
So,
Representation.
let's just. I made a cute little graphic. Look at that.
Look at that.
So it's by team as well. So each row is like the different team because they were in teams kind of more so their commercials were kind of just
grouped together.
Yeah. So we had Miranda in the top left who had empowerment.
Betina.
Oh, is that Betina?
That's Betina.
Yes, Betina.
Should have put names.
Betina had compassion.
Yeah, Betina had compassion.
Aquarela had respect.
Yes.
And then Hellena had diversity.
Then we had Rubi with representativity. We had Dallas with empathy.
Yes.
And we had Shannon with inclusion.
Mm-hmm.
Who is at the top right again?
That's Hellena. That's Hellena.
Top right, Hellena.
That's Hellena. I should have
not look like her.
She looks great. They all look good. And then we have Naza in the bottom left with acceptance. We had Organzza with love. And then we had
Miranda.
That's Miranda. God,
Miranda
with empowerment.
They
all look the same. No, they don't.
No, they don't.
They really don't look all the same. But what did we think? Who stood out for the good or the bad reasons?
I can go through my thoughts overall really quickly.
Of course.
I thought Betina was pretty good. She was kind of in the middle for me. Aquarela, I thought that her thing felt very personal to her, so I did like it. I liked it better than the judges did, clearly. Hellena felt really subdued. I think that first group was my least favorite of the 3 different groups. But then the second group, I felt a lot of passion from Rubi. I liked Rubi. She was close to the top for me. Dallas, she felt well spoken, but I think Greg was right. It did feel really rushed as she was going through it. Shannon, very genuine, very raw, easily my favorite of any of them. Then the last group, Naza, it was a bit like cutesy and lighthearted compared to a lot of the others, which I don't know. It wasn't my favorite. I thought Organzza, she actually managed to balance like humor and a serious message really well. So I thought she was very strong. And then Miranda, she just was so powerful and she just demanded my attention the whole time. So I 100% agreed with the 3 tops.
My tops would be Shannon, Organzza, and Naza. My bottoms would be Dallas, Aquarela, and Betina. Actually, I take it back. Not Aquarela. I'm sorry. Hellena and Betina. I was looking at Hellena and saying Aquarela. Yeah. I was like, no, I got those 2 completely confused. No. Dallas, Hellena, and Betina, I say would be my bottoms. I would put Rubi for me as being like the closer one to the top. Just a little bit over. Yeah, I was like just a little bit over Miranda for me. Yeah, Miranda for me. But part of it too, and the reason I think honestly why I have Naza in my top 3 is I just have a soft spot for her. I think that she's very endearing to me. Like even just the chemistry that she has with the girls when she's not in the challenges and stuff. She seems like she's like the little sister they all like to pick on, but she's like can easily hold her own kind of a, you know what I mean, kind of person. So because it's like I always root for her in the back of my mind. She's my underdog out of everybody, even though I feel like there will be another person that's clearly the underdog out of these, but for me, she's my underdog, so I always kind of root for her. So yeah.
Yeah, and I'll quickly add my bottom three would have been Hellena, Dallas, and Naza, but I would have had Naza safe out of those three.
I think for me, my bottoms would have been Betina, uh, Helena, and Dallas. That would have been my bottom. My top would have been Shannon, Organzza, and Miranda. Yeah, I probably would. And then Ruby and I think Ruby and Naza both did, and Aquarela all did really good, but just was a little bit outshined by the other three. But they like I felt like for the first group, Aquarela for me was the standout in the first group. Shannon was the standout for me in the second group, and then in the third group, I would probably give the standout to Miranda because I felt like her message was so powerful, and she just,
Yep.
like you said, demanded that I watch her, and I remember her, and I love Organzas too. I think she was really really good, and she did hold that perfect line between funny and then serious message, a message that you wanted to hear. And it was like, oh, I didn't expect her to take that when her word was love. I didn't expect her to take that route with self-love. And I was like, that was a beautiful turn and transition that she did. And I love that. I love that she didn't just go, you should love yourself, or everybody, we need to love everybody. Like she could have been like, the world needs love. Love is love and love is great. No, she's like, you need to love yourself. Before you can love anybody else, you need to love yourself. And we take that for granted. Sometimes we want to make everybody else happy, and we want to please everybody else. We want to love everybody else. We forget to love ourselves. And I love that message. So I really enjoyed her as well.
Yeah, I think for me, my top three by far, no question, were Shannon, Miranda, and Organzza. Shannon for me, hello. Even beyond that top three, Shannon for me, Shannon got it. She got the right word, she got the perfect scenario, and she did exactly what needed to be done in this challenge, and I absolutely loved it. My bottom three would have been Dallas, Betina, and Hellena. Though, I mean, for me personally, I don't think Aquarela was that far ahead of the bottom three for me. I liked what Aquarela did. I didn't think it stood out in comparison to a lot of the people. And for me, Naza and Ruby both were just very good and very safe. So that's kind of where I would have.
I liked how Aquarela made it very personal about like her having
Yeah.
glasses. So she was clearly the standout of of the first group, like Lana said. But yeah, she would have been perfectly in the middle if I had to
Perfectly
rank
in the
them
middle.
all.
Exactly.
Totally. I think my perfectly in the middle honestly would have been Ruby. I think I liked Ruby's a little bit more than I liked Aquarela. But yeah. Any other thoughts on the challenge?
Nope.
I liked it.
I liked it.
I'm gonna do a real quick sweep on these looks, real quick, if I can.
Yeah.
My favorite looks are like I love Helena's, I loved Organzas, and I loved I want to call her. That's not her name.
Ruby?
Miranda.
Mm-hmm.
I was about to call that baby Matilda. I said that is not her name.
Again, wrong franchise.
I wasn't even thinking. And to be honest, I wasn't even thinking about that. I was thinking of the damn movie with the girl with the telekinesis. I was like, that's not Matilda. Like, not that baby. No.
No.
No. I would say I liked their outfits the most. I like Shannon's too. Yeah, and then this power suit kind of situation Aquarela was in had me confused. I was like, what's happening, baby? Did you join the are you gonna sell me a home? It was giving me like realtor a little bit up top. Like, yes, we have bay windows. Yes. We also have a driveway that you can drive in. And then we have 2 containers for your trash. One is trash and one is recyclables. See, it says recyclables on the bin. Yeah, lot of lighting, in here. Like that was just what it was giving me. I was kind of like, I feel like she's gonna sell me a house, but okay. I don't know. Those are just kind of standout ones. And then Ruby was. I can't say about Ruby. That's my baby. That's my baby when it comes.
Oh, we ain't gonna talk about how she looked like a school teacher. We go talk about Aquarela looking like a real estate agent, but we're not gonna talk about how Ruby. We're not gonna talk about how Ruby looked like a school teacher.
There's a difference. There's a difference because if Ruby looked like a school teacher, Aquarela looked like the damn principal.
Okay, so if we're not gonna talk about that, then I'm just saying if we gonna say Aquarela looking like a real estate agent or a principal, we're not gonna mention the fact that Ruby standing there looking like a whole second grade teacher with the necktie. Absolutely not. No, we gonna be fair all the way around. We're not just gonna jump on Aquarela. We're not gonna do that up in this house. Nope. We're not gonna do that to Aquarela. Not my baby. Not today. Aquarela looked like a real estate agent / principal. Ruby looked like a second grade teacher / PTA mom. We're not having it. We're not having it. We finna just because we like her. She my baby. So is Aquarela. Don't. Absolutely not. We shall roast Steve because I don't want to do nobody else's. Oh, child.
Let's talk about our beautiful judging panel.
It's the judging panel.
Greg, baby.
I love
Greg Queen.
Come on, beaded
Greg Queen.
Come on, beaded fringe. You know, two things about a beaded fringe gown, especially given the fact if it's almost all beaded fringe. One, it was expensive as hell because beaded fringe is not cheap at all. It's about damn near as expensive as rhinestones are. And two, that dress was probably heavy as hell.
Yep,
baby. That's like, it's like wearing a whole freaking wet rug. Like I've had some like bodysuits that just have beaded fringe just on the front of it, and it feels like holding wet towels. It's so heavy. So I know that gown is probably heavy as crap on her, but the way she is just like poised and standing in it and carrying it, nasty.
She looks great. I was like, ooh, she's so pretty. I just can't. That's all I can say about her. She's so pretty.
She almost gives me it's almost this fashionable Morticia Adams.
Right. I'm about to say Elvira kind of vibes. Very much.
Dark lady.
Dark, but gorgeous and bright in the face. Just, and everybody looks fine. Everybody.
What is Doodoo wearing?
I don't know what I didn't want to talk about that.
Our guest judge, Ese Menino, looked lovely.
Looked like a grandmama.
It looks like he's ready for Grey Gardens the musical.
And I love it. Starring Ese Menino and Greg Queen as Elvira for some reason.
Once again, thank you so much, Brazil, for adding to our judging panel, homo and makeup.
I mean, because last time we were like,
everyone agreed with you. Everyone was like, I don't know who this person is.
We don't know who that person is, so maybe we on to something because I don't know who that person is, but they might be special to y'all. If not, y'all can let us know that you don't know who he is either.
Did I ask this question already? Is Charo Brazilian?
You did, and we said no.
You did, and the answer is no.
I'm trying to,
still no.
I'm gonna get
Still no.
And I'm gonna find me a cute little list of Brazilian celebrities. So next episode, when they have some random Ricky Tiki Tavi looking homosexual up here in some one size makeup, I can be like, y'all missed all these people y'all could have had. Y'all could have had Penelope Cruz. I know she probably Brazilian. No.
Spanish.
Salma Hayek.
No.
Very not Brazilian.
No. Ain't they all the same damn person almost?
I'm about to say Adriana Lima.
They don't even speak the same language.
They don't even speak the same language, Eve.
You could have had Adriana. Their accents.
I'm
gonna move along. Category is Glamazonia.
I still stand by saying they could have had Adriana Lima.
Well, maybe they will, and we just haven't seen it yet, Eve.
You know what? You could be right about that.
I know. First up, Betina Polaroid.
Betina from the tree of... Oh, I can't say that word. The tree
No.
of Unt. The auntie tree, bitch.
The auntie tree.
She was auntie. She's looking auntie.
She is looking auntie, so that's fine.
I live for the details on this. My only downside for it is because I feel like because like the print or the texture on the front of like what's the bodice that goes into the gown is all like one thing. It takes away her shape. So she looks like a tree, but she looks like a wide tree.
I think it's just this photo because it was a bit more. There was a bit of a fit issue, but it was a little bit more fitted than this. Like in this photo, she has her knees bent, but this was the only full shot that had like the arms and the gown. So there was a bit of a fit issue, but it did look a lot more fitted.
Okay.
In real TV life.
I also thought she kind of looked a little wide around the waist. And I think one of the judges called her out for it. But other than that, I thought this was literal perfection for me. I'm just going to say it. It's my favorite runway she's done this season.
Same.
It's my favorite runway anybody's done this season. I love this.
Yeah, the details was so beautiful. She was so proud of this look. Like she carried it because she was so proud of it. She carried it off in such a confidence in a beautiful way. And the detail and the colors and then the makeup and the red eyes, I thought it was beautiful. This was the best I've ever seen her. I didn't care that it was wide in the hips. I'm like, she's a tree. That's what she's supposed to be. We don't want no skinny tree. If you see a skinny tree, you're like, what's wrong with that sick tree?
I don't trust that tree.
I don't trust that tree. That tree gonna fall. That tree ain't giving us no shade at all. So I didn't mind the wideness of the tree. She a tree. She gave me tree. They asked for Glamazonian. She gave me a tree in the forest of the Amazon. And I'm like, she understood the assignment and she did it. So I'm not mad at it at all. And she looked beautiful. This is my favorite runway look from her this entire season.
Oh my God, it's a tree.
Oh my God.
It's a tree.
I loved this. I absolutely agree with everything y'all said. This is my favorite look so far of this season. This is my favorite look from Betina. I'm so happy. Finally, Betina. Thank you. I've been waiting. Thank you. I was so happy.
Dang.
Her makeup, baby. This is the best. Her makeup is looked too. Like, everything came together on this day for this girl, and I'm happy for it. I'm happy for it.
It was a little shady, but
because she's a tree.
No, you were shady.
Shady.
Facts are facts.
I mean, facts are facts, though. But scores, then
scores.
Well, hey, I would say if I chopped Miss Betina in half and count the rings, it would probably be a good old. Since she's a thick tree, she's been around for a while, so I'd say it'd be maybe a good old 97 rings. So I say 97.
I'm close to as many rings. I have 94.
Wow.
What?
My cup runneth over for this look. It's runneth over.
My cup is overflowing as well, and I'm
Period. I love this look.
She done fertilized the cups, y'all.
She made it. She made it.
Baby, she made it. She made it. And then next is Aquarela.
What the hell?
That's what I said when she walked out. Oh.
Aquarela is giving me the mother taking their single child trick-or-treating and didn't have a costume. So they said, I'm going to put on a hat and the sparkly outfit over these work pants. Because I just got off of work. So let me go ahead and put this mini costume on over these work pants. Let me go ahead and put my good glasses on because we're gonna be out in the dark, so I gotta put the good frames on.
And a belt. And
then there's a hint of Power Ranger in here too. I don't even know what's happening.
But we love you, Aquarela.
Why is your face white, baby? What's happening? Are you a spirit?
Always.
It's giving spirit. It's giving she's a spirit with pants. I don't like the pants. It's just pants for me. I'm sorry. I don't like the pants or pantaloons or whatever you want to refer to them as fabric around your leg. I'm not crazy.
It's pants. It's pants. Yeah.
Usually when you see pants on the runway, it's a good thing.
Yep.
You just be like, okay, you got some pants on, and now you're like,
oh my God, it's pants.
Why you got on pants?
It's pants.
And in that color.
Yeah.
And you want to know what that color is? It's chocolate.
That's some old chocolate. That's when you get that chocolate bar
and it's been
from
sitting
your
out
grandmama that was out in the cabinet or something, and she said, "Oh, I got you some chocolate," and ain't nobody ate that in decades, and it's all white around the outside.
David.
Yeah, if Betina was my favorite look of the season, this is a contender for my least favorite of the season so far. Very basic. I don't like the corset over the thing. Yeah, didn't work.
Aquarela, I love you with my whole heart and soul. Even I can't defend this look. This was just not it. It wasn't it. It wasn't good. I don't know. I have nothing else to say.
Aquarela, we love you.
We do. I do.
You know, one thing that I mentioned when it comes to drag and on Drag Race, certain things that like are stock drag items that a lot of drag entertainers have. One of them is that kind of corset belt situation that Aquarela's wearing. And to further justify my point, I'm pretty sure we brought this up when we were talking about someone's look and fashion on another review, and Dawn pulled the same belt out in black.
Yes.
Yep.
This is the third time in this episode of Drag Race Brazil that you have mentioned something from Drag Race Philippines.
Yep.
It's because I miss the Filipino people.
We don't say that with the Brazilians here. We love y'all too.
And I miss the Brazilian peoples too.
Let's go to the scores before Eve starts saying more.
I'm gonna start World War Eve. It's okay.
Right.
Fighting over me, child. No, she's ours. It's okay. I have enough love to hop around. But yeah, I hate these belts. I think they should be burned. Amazon, Jeff Bezos should lose like a couple of hours off of his life for making these belts in different colors. They're horrible. But yeah, like you were saying, David, with the outfit looking very like basic, I was just like, even that's the biggest downgrade too, is you have like one of these stock drag belts. You know what I mean? But then it's in a different color, which doesn't make it any better. It's just, like I said, I've just not been the craziest, but I've not been the craziest, honestly, about any of Aquarela's fashion this season, and that's just me being personal. But I don't know if maybe it's a difference in taste, but I do not care for it.
Your score.
Your score.
Oh, my score is up.
Oh. I'll give her a 25.
I'll give her a 30 because I just love her. I know what you're doing. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I have to plead. I
feel
really bad.
It is what it is. She know. She knew. She knew.
I hope she do, Chad.
I hope she know now.
Hellena Maldita.
Yes. Can I say this? This is sickening. This is sexy. This is everything. But they gonna start clocking you, girl. They told you to get ugly.
Mm-hmm.
And you came out in another pretty gown, looking gorgeous as hell. They are going to get you one of these days, or it's gonna come up to a runway where it's gonna be like a Club Kid runway or something like that, where you really need to give awkward and out of the box, and you're gonna come out looking gorgeous, and they're gonna put you right in the bottom. I already see it happening. Because what you're doing is great, but I still want to I still want to see more variety. You know what I mean? The gown is nasty. The gown is absolutely sickening, but I want to see more variety. Besides hair color, I feel like I've just seen her change hair color a lot.
I really like this. I think it looks very expensive. Like it probably looks like the most expensive thing on the runway this episode. I really like the purse with the eyes. I really don't have many things to complain about. I think maybe if there had been something to make it look a little bigger besides the headpiece, I might have liked it even more. But other than that, I thought it was great.
It's pretty. It's definitely pretty. But I agree with Eve. If she don't do something else, she go find herself in the bottom for no reason. Because as we see, especially with this franchise, they have no problem punishing people for not doing what they say do. Hint, hint, Mezzaline Sparkle. They have no problem punishing people and putting them in the bottom for doing what they told them not to do. So I need you, if you want to be around, go on and ugly it up a little bit. At least one time, give them the ugly that they want so they can leave you alone and you can go on back to being the pretty that you already are. We know you're pretty. They know you're pretty. They want to see what else you can be. And not saying nothing about this because this is gorgeous. This is amazing, and I hate that's what it is, and that's what you're telling. We're saying like you've got to do it just to please other people because I still am a firm believer if that's your drag and that's what you do, you should be able to do what you do without repercussions of being you. This is who she is. She is that glamour girl. She is that pretty girl. Why can't she just be pretty with and do what she do without them making her change? I said the same thing about Aquarela. They want her to change her makeup. I'm like, that's who she is. Stop making folks try to change who they are because you don't appreciate it. You don't like it. That's not your aesthetic. But this is the competition. Right. And you have to follow the theme and you have to do what pleases the judges in all, even if you don't like it, even if the audience don't like it. Me personally, I would rather them be able to be themselves. But this is a competition, so just do what you need to do to get the prize.
That's the downside that ends up happening with this because you get the contestants are getting caught in this like catch-22 situation where they want you to stay true to who you are and everything, but then of course there are confines of the competition where they want you to do A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. And the thing is if you can't do that, or you're not the best at doing it as somebody else, that's fine. It's not saying your drag is bad or nothing's wrong with your signature drag or whatever. It's just it's like it's a puzzle. You know what I mean? Like these are just the riddles you need to be able to solve to get to the next level. If you can't solve this one, that's fine. It's not saying you're stupid or anything. You just didn't solve this riddle. You know what I mean? And so like, I want for Hellena to be able to do a little bit more out of the box with her looks. I feel like that her entrance look was something that wouldn't be considered quote unquote stereotypically pretty. You know what I mean? I feel like if she would have done something like that on the runway, they would have been like, ooh, this has kind of like a creepy element to it. Like, you know what I mean? Where it would still fit in the box of what she does, but it can be something that caters to what they're looking for when it comes to her not being just a girl wearing pretty dresses. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's what the downside is it's starting to become a girl wearing pretty dresses. And I'm just like, yeah, I want to see you push it a little bit more. Like, come out with a prop that's more than just two eyeballs as a purse. You know what I mean? Like, just like really like below us at the while. Like, come out with some huge back piece, or come out crawling or something. You know what I mean? Something where we're just kind of like even when we'll be looking at you like, oh, you're this beauty, but you're this evil beauty, or you're this creepy beauty, or you're this whatever. Like, take that beauty that you know that you have, that's your signature thing, and just nuance it and mold it to fit what they're doing. And I feel like that's what happens. A lot of girls get caught because they go, well, no, this is what I do. This is who I am. This is what I serve. And they don't know how to you know what I mean, play with the nuances of their drag. And I hope we get to see a little bit more of that out of Hellena. And they don't like I said, they don't punish her because that would suck.
I don't care if she's a girl in a pretty dress. I think she's pretty in her pretty dress. And I like her a lot. So fair judging panel. Man. Scores.
I give Hellena an 85 for this.
88.
90.
93. Rubi Ocean. And she's not in the ocean today. She's in the forest.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. My turn, I guess.
Just jump in, Dave.
Yes, I thought this was beautiful, and it clearly had a message that was impactful. This was one of my favorites of the night. That's it.
It's beautiful. That's it.
I have one thing to say. OMG, it's pants.
In the best way.
In the best way. No, I love this. I think the way that this was constructed was really fun. I like the news. It's supposed to be newspaper, right?
Yep.
The sort of effect. I love that all the newspaper was just coming around her in this very interesting way, and it created dimension and it created shape, and I really enjoyed that. The hair is perfect. The mug is always perfect. The way she has the flowers on the top and then the flowers coming down and then the flowers in the bell bottom. I thought all of that was just, so good. Love Rubi Ocean. Love her. She's not getting the credit that she is entitled to, but I love Rubi. So, scores, I guess.
Yes.
Duh.
91.
96.
Duh. I got you, Eve. I got you with the duh. Dallas DeVille is up next.
Dallas, my darling, this had potential. It really had potential. I don't know how you turned into a cheetah print bird, but it had potential.
Mm-hmm.
To Can't Sam.
David?
I think she looks good, first of all, but I do think that the concept could have been married together a bit better. It really just looks like she had two random items and just kind of combined them. Like, I would have liked it if she actually had like cheetah print on the wings, or like maybe teeth coming out of the beak, just something that actually morphed these together and made them look like they belong, but they don't look like they belong. So I don't know. It was probably my second least favorite of the night, but by a big margin above Aquarela.
I was very confused. I didn't think it looked good. I was like, what the heck is a cheetah print with a bird toucan on your head for? Like, this is the most confusing look. It might be it might be better than Aquarela's, but I ain't gonna put it by big much. This is the most confusing look on the runway. Why are we a cheetah print and a toucan bird? At least give me, if you go do the blue bird feather wings, make the suit blue and give us, or make it a rainbow color so it can look like a real toucan, like something green. Why cheetah print? That don't make no sense. It's so confusing. I didn't like this at all.
I'm actually going to side closer to David.
Sure.
In a really weird way. I don't think these were married together very well at all, and I was confused by it until she explained that she was doing this jaguar parrot sort of thing, and I'm like, that's an interesting enough concept. It's very different that no one's ever done before.
There's a reason for that.
There's a reason for it, of course. I wish, if you were gonna do this feels like she did it and it was at like 55% of where she needed to be, and I needed her to be at 100. I needed feathers down the boot. I needed like leopard. I wanted it to be like leopard print in the wing and a little bit of like blue in the bodysuit and like maybe some spots and like a fascinator. I don't know. But I don't dislike it. Weirdly enough, I don't dislike it. So I will say I actually liked it better later when she took it all off and she had the pink. I thought that was a lot better, but yeah. Scores.
Yeah. I'm not the craziest about it. I would give this a 65. I would say for her being like the futuristic girl, and that's supposed to have been like her moniker that she gave us during the Meet the Queens and stuff. I haven't seen that much futuristic stuff.
The themes haven't worked with it really.
Yeah.
I feel like that this one could. I'm like, why couldn't you have came out as some like all metal plated bird? You know what I mean? That had like, I'm like, why couldn't you have done that? Like, why couldn't you have been like some bird from the Amazon from like the future? You could have been like some cyborg bird or something. Like, I don't know. I feel like that she's had some opportunities. She just hasn't used them the best. Because, girl, if you sitting up here saying you the techno girl, I would have came out looking like a freaking cyborg robot almost every runway child. I would have always been coming out silver with some blue something. Like, I don't know. This is like Tony the Tiger. And this is like I mixed Fruit Loops and Frosted Flakes together in a bowl. This is Tony the Tiger and Toucan Sam in a bowl.
I do kind of live for that, though.
I'm not eating that. David, score.
68.
If I gave Aquarela a 30, she's getting a 32.
I'm going to give her a 64. Yeah.
Not too far from me.
No.
Hey, y'all wouldn't want that ball
Shannon Skarllet.
Now this is what I wanted to see from Miss Shannon. Miss Shannon talking all that stuff about other people being safe and stuff all the time. I'm like, girl, I need you to come out and gag me because you always been safe and you talking about who high and who low and everything. This was nasty. I said, okay, Shannon. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. I
guess it's me. I love this. It looks beautiful. She looks amazing. This is what we wanted. This is what we got. And it's good. It's good. She looks good. Period.
In the words of Eve the Bunny, nasty.
It's funny because I feel like that there would be a forest and she would be there and Heidi and Closet's strawberry look would be right next to each other.
I love that.
But at the same time, one's a strawberry and one is a possibly poisonous like spore. So it's like, which one do you eat? You can't tell. They both look the same. But it's like, I live for it. It's like they're sisters. It's like one's a good sister, one's the bad. I don't know. Like I don't know. They're giving me like Twitch's vibes if they were edible. I don't know. It's just something. It's cute. I live for it. I just live for it.
Scores.
My cup's full for this one.
My cup runneth over.
Mugther. Just ugh. And David from the Beyond is giving this a 93.
93.
Naza.
Look at my girl. Look at Naza. I told y'all she's gonna be the underdog. They didn't discredit her. They just sort of made jokes about her makeup and stuff. She got the makeup together, and the looks have not disappointed so far. The looks have been so well done for someone that comes off very almost like young, kind of of an entertainer. Like I'd be like, girl, you pulling out some shit that I would see like pageant girls pulling out with some of these looks work. I love the way that this whole thing comes down to the bottom part with the world on the bottom and like the cutouts and the appliques, and it's all like sparkly and stoned, and the hair looks good and the mug looks different. It doesn't look like how she's done her makeup before, so she's playing with her makeup and stuff. Like she's very much like, I can be a contender for this. I live.
This is great. I didn't realize when the show was happening on the runway that was Earth at the bottom of the outfit.
Oh,
I didn't realize that when it happened, but then when I looked later and saw the picture, I was like, "Oh, Naza, you are kind of that just oh, I live for this look. She looks incredible. She is someone who is listening and learning and growing, and her journey is amazing thus far. I'm here for Naza. I really do like Naza, and this look is everything.
Eve, I'm gonna borrow that again. This is nasty. It's so good. It's so smart. And
Yep.
that's what I love about learning about Naza's drag is just everything she's done so far has been so intentional and so smart.
Yes.
And I love the way that this is constructed. I love that we have the blue up the chaps that kind of is like a river into the tree and the forest and the arms and the
It all goes together. It
So
all
good.
fits perfectly.
So
Her
good.
body proportions and everything look
So
great
good.
in it. Nothing looks out of place.
Oh,
now.
so good.
It looks like it was made to fit her. Everything looks like you said, everything looks intentional. And it's been like that with every single one of her looks. Everything has looked intentional. Like she knows what she was wanting to give. Like even love her to death, but the Victoria's Secret look that I wasn't the craziest about with that bodysuit, I still will say that it looked at least more intricate than what some of the other girls were wearing, where it was just a corset with flowers on the side of it or something. You know what I mean? Like she doesn't want her drag to look like it's something that's straight out of a bag. She wants it to have some more personality to it and to like fit her. And I really like this. I really like this a lot. It's making me see her more as more of a fashion girl than I thought that she was going to be this season. I didn't think that she was going to be really like eating it like this on the. I thought she was going to be doing good runways, but I didn't know she was going to be like. No, she's usually coming and doing what needs to be done on the runway. And she is. I live, and I'm so glad I drafted her. I'm gonna give Naza overflowing with this one. This is bomb.
Yeah, this is the
Duh.
Yeah.
And David from Beyond is not giving it nearly as high of a score as we did. He gave it a 75.
Because he's a hater.
Wow.
I'm kidding. We love you, David.
No.
Ugh. Organzza.
Why? What? Yeah. What? You don't
Why
even,
are we here?
Why
are we here?
You don't have to ask me for my score because it's the same as rinse and repeat from the last look. Because God, how are you gonna give us a whole snake and like for real give us a whole snake and just serving it on this runway in this performance? Just stupid. Okay, that's all I got to say. Just stupid. Ugh.
I have one qualm.
Oh.
Only one. I don't really think that it would matter that much because the fact that she's a snake. And I think maybe that helped her out and she was able to get away with it.
Padding.
Not really padding, just a
little shape.
Just a little shape of a little silhouette. Like I know you're gonna be straight up and down because you're gonna be a snake, but something makes me. I just wish if you were just nipped a hair inside, you didn't even have to wear pads or anything. Just I don't know. You know what I mean?
I would agree with you if she wasn't a snake. If like I agree.
I feel like that's the workaround.
the workaround. I think I agree with it. Yeah, because then she could like move her body where it give the shape of the of a snake, so it can cheat that a little bit. But I agree with you last week with her outfit last week. I was like, yeah, she could use a little bit of shape in that, little something to not to be straight up and down. This one, I could say, okay, this makes sense to the costume.
Yeah,
but yeah, I hear you.
That is also the one thing that I had, but I don't mind it nearly as much in this case because she is trying to be a little snigga-snag.
Right.
Snigga-snag. So I don't care. Snigga-snag. Snigga-snag.
Just a little. Just a little.
Snigga-snag. I love Organzza. I love this look. I don't even care. I don't care that you have a straight up and down pole body. I just nasty again.
Organzza.
Scores.
Organzza. I'm giving you a 96. It's my snake impression.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was pretty good.
Rinse and repeat.
Is that the new score?
Rinse and repeat.
Duh.
So good.
Dude.
I tried.
Yeah.
I tried. And David is giving it an 85. So. Last up, Miranda Lebrao.
I didn't feel the same way as the judges felt about this look, but I understood it, and I was like, "It's not bad," but I'm not like floored by it. If that makes sense, I don't hate it. I just don't quite love it. Yeah, that's all I got.
Beautiful gown.
Beautiful gown.
Beautiful gown.
Beautiful gown.
Beautiful gown. Beautiful gown.
Beautiful gown.
Beautiful gown.
And that's about it. Yeah. Is kind of where it's at. I mean, I love the hair. And we do love a good updo. Did they explain this on the runway?
I honestly do not remember.
I don't either. Because every other look I'm like, oh yes, hit me over the head with the concept, I get it. This one I feel like I should know.
Right.
But I don't think obvious. I do. It's not obvious. But still, I really like this gown. Beautiful gowns. I do really enjoy it. I think she looks beautiful. I wish there was a bit of that, and I don't know if this is off theme for what she was trying to do, but I would have loved if she had done kind of like a half and half makeup, or even like a half and half black and white lip. I think would have been enough for me. It's just like, oh, we're giving the same very beautiful mug that we've been giving with this very dramatic situation. I don't know. I don't know. Lana, do you remember if they explained the concept of this?
I think it was the when the two oceans meet, or when whether it's light and dark. I think that's what they said. It's something in Amazon.
Someone in the comments, please.
Yeah, if I'm wrong, because I could be 100% wrong. I think,
I don't remember. So,
but I think it was something about the oceans meeting, the waters meeting.
Sure. But I still really enjoy it. Too vague. Scores.
Well, since it's half and half, I'm giving it half, 50.
Oh, I would give it a 70.
Oh, I'm gonna give it a 90. I really like it.
I mean, it's I don't hate it, but I don't love it.
I like it.
For me, it is a beautiful gown. It does not meet the criteria of the challenge for me.
Okay.
I feel like there could be more that could be done, because if you did not explain, because it's very much when it comes to those type of themed runways, I need it to be something that is a little bit more hit me over the head, as opposed to I need to hear the explanation for this, and then even afterwards I'm like, okay, I see how that works. Like, I need for it to be like oh, got it. Okay, cool, great. I know what it is. And it's like, Yeah, I'm not getting that from that.
Fair. And David is giving this an 82. So that's that on that.
Mhm.
We have some results.
We do.
We do.
We have a top three. And that top three consisted of Organzza, Miranda Lebrao, and our winner, Shannon Skarllet. Finally,
she can now count herself out of the safe, girls.
Thank God, because I've been waiting. I have been waiting for Shannon. I'm very happy, very, very happy for Shannon. So, in our bottom three, we had Rubi as our low safe, which I did not agree with at all. Not whatsoever. And our bottom two of Aquarela and Dallas DeVille.
Both on their second time in the bottom, so you know that means.
We gonna get someone's going home, and we're gonna get a good lip sync. And we get a lip sync to Vermelho by Gloria Groove. I was like, Vermelho Noir? Is that you? No, it wasn't.
No.
It wasn't at all. This was also the best lip sync of the season so far for me. I feel like it was the most even. I thought it was the most balanced. I thought they both gave a lot of good energy. They both knew the words to this very, very quick song. I really enjoyed it.
It gave for me. I saw the girls fighting, and I was like, okay, I see what's happening. I was like, thankfully, we got people that know words. Thankfully, we have people that can give us some inflections. Y'all ain't the best dancers, but that's okay, because you don't have to be all the time. Rhythm is a two-way street. And sometimes you ain't got it. So what happens is you got to walk instead of drive. The ones who got rhythm understand the analogy. So, yeah, but it was interesting. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. It was the cleanest one so far we've had. I was like, okay, let's see how this turns out. I was very interested, especially because that's one of those things where it's like when it's both girls evenly going in, like not like one girl's only been in once and one girl's been in twice. It's like you both are going in pretty much on the same tier. Right. It's like
you both have already knocked someone out.
Right.
So
yeah. It was like you can easily still stay, bitch. Fight if you need to fight. So
right.
Yeah. Lana, what'd you think?
I thought the lip sync was good. It was equally. I think they both had their highs. They both had great moments. I was like, okay, I was here for it. I enjoyed it. I thought they did very well. Unfortunately, I agree with the decision that was made. And as much as it hurt my heart, it was just like, it is what it is. But yeah, it was still good though.
It was great. Oh, it was so great. We get our result, and we do lose Aquarela. And I'm very sad to not be able to say Aquarela for the rest of the season, because I do really enjoy saying Aquarela. But I love her. I'm very glad that she was on this season. I'm glad she was able to show off her talent. We got to know a lot about her, and I really do hope we get to see her again, maybe in a few years, with a bit more money, a bit more elevated makeup style. Not that your makeup is bad now, but I want to see the full version of Aquarela, and I don't think we got the fully realized glamazon that is Aquarela. So I'm very excited to see what she does moving forward.
Yeah, I think she's gonna do. I think she can. She has her style. That is her own style, and if that is what she wants to do for her, I say, do you, boo? If that is what's gonna get your money going, do that. But I enjoy Aquarela. I'm going to miss her very much.
Well, we also have a draft update. And oh boy, the drafts
It's shaking
have
up,
been
baby.
updated.
I'm
So-
not.
So in third place, or in fourth place, there is a fourth place. In fourth place, with 25 points, is David Healy.
Yes! I'm beating David.
Don't worry, Eve,
I'm about to say,
because
you're
in
beating a
third
lot of
place,
people.
with 28
How
points,
dare you?
is
You're
Lana.
beating. I'm about to say you're beating a lot of people, Eve.
We are top two in these drafts right now, Eve.
All right.
In second place with 33 points is Eve the Bunny. And I'm leading another draft. I don't know how it's happening. I'm currently in the lead with 38 points, and I'm the only person with a full team left.
That is why.
And Lana is unfortunately down to one member.
But a strong contender.
A very, very strong contender.
I'll put
in
all my
Organzza.
eggs in her basket, and I will hold to that. That's
Yeah,
fine.
so Lana only has Organzza left. David has Dallas and Hellena Maldita. Eve has Rubi and Naza, and I have Shannon, Miranda, and Betina Polaroid.
It's very funny because something makes me feel like that I'm in the back of my mind already putting a mini guess out to who the top 5 is going to be.
Mhm.
Oh,
And I see all of us having one person in the top 5.
Mm,
I think I agree with you.
I can agree with that.
I see that as a very strong possibility.
Very
that
strong
all of us
possibility.
are going in the top 5 with one person, with at least one person still on our team.
I think so.
Very strong
Mhm.
possibility.
Next
That's it.
week, per tradition of Paramount Plus produced Drag Race franchises in Colombia, it's Snatch Game on episode 6. Du-du-du-du. It's Snatch Game.
El
allegedly
Snacho.
Allegedly, that also happens in Germany. Allegedly.
Yeah, I
So
think
we
it
got to
will.
be prepared for Logan's question that will be coming.
Yes, I will be asking everybody
Snatch.
for the next 2 weeks. Bring a Snatch Game character.
I already gave you mine.
If
bring
one
another
of
one.
y'all
Jesus.
see, this is what I'm gonna be happy about though. I'm gonna be happy about Snatch Game because when y'all sit up and do Snatch Game and y'all do all these Brazilian celebrities, I'm gonna say each one of these could be a guest judge.
And with all that being said, thank you for joining us for our review of episode 5 of Drag Race Brasil. We will be back next week for episode 6. In the meantime, make sure to hit subscribe, share, hit the bell notification, hit all the buttons that you want. If you hit the dislike, hit it twice. Also, make sure to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at The Cup Pod for all of our most up-to-date Cup news and our funny moments because we are some funny bitches. And while you're down in the description, you can follow the 4 of us on Twitter. If you're in the Chicago area, go see Eve doing something fabulous. And you could get your merch. Link is down there as well. So with all that being said, cheers.
Cheers, Logan.
Cheers.
I got it. I got it. I got it. I did it this time. Yes. We learned. We learned.
We
Goodbye.
do.
Wait, what'd you do?
We
We were
cheers
cheersing each other,
We cheers.
even though we were
Wait,
not.
when did
on
we
this-
do that?
We clink glasses.
When you were putting yours up